Good evening and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin, and I am the Dream Decipherer, and I help you to crack the code of your sleep and dreams so you can sleep sound and dream deep. This evening I have a dream of two parts. It has a part one and a part two. We'll see just how they're related as we go along. The first part of the dream involves martial arts. And the dreamer reports that a martial arts master had gone to his hometown to perform in a big capoeira event. And the dreamer wasn't informed. And so how he found out about this event was after the fact in a Twitter feed that someone sent him. Now, in the Twitter feed, there were two video clips, one showing the master performing, doing handstands, and a second clip which showed one of the performers at this event from this master's group um, jumping off a platform of some kind, which is where the performer actually got hurt and falling from this platform. So that's how this accident happened. That's how the dreamer found out about it. And there ends the first part. The second part of the dream, it involves the capoeira master again, and he and the dreamer, that is the master, and the the dreamer's wife are traveling back and forth rather aimlessly, it would seem, on buses. They're going back and forth in an area of London, in North London. Now, apparently, this went on for a period of time. Whether it was long or short isn't said, but finally, a decision is made, and the two males, that is the dreamer and the martial arts master, decide that they're going off to work, and the wife goes off shopping, and that's the end of the second dream, or the second part of the dream, rather. Now, it seems rather a mixture, a mixed bag, those bags of things. But let's pick this apart a little bit and see what comes out of it. Now, in the first part, this martial arts master is essentially on the dreamer's home turf, his hometown, but yet didn't advise the dreamer that he would be in town and that there was an event going on, that a performance. Now, I wonder what the dreamer may feel about that. That, as you know, somebody that's a friend and a teacher or a former teacher, not advising him that he was in town, and that there was a performance going on. How does the dreamer feel about that? Now, the how the dreamer found out about all of this was through somebody's Twitter feed. Somebody tweeted a couple of video clips, including the clip of somebody jumping off a platform and ending up getting injured or breaking a leg, actually. Now, there's again, I always caution people when you dreams are speak in metaphors, they speak as if or like something. So, there's the expression in when people go on to perform on stage, break a leg, because it's bad luck to wish people good luck. So they say things like break a leg. But in this case, it actually happened. So what is going on with that? Good luck, not so good luck, maybe. Now, this dreamer in waking life practices martial arts, and I wonder if there is some connection to something that's going on in waking life with regard to martial arts training, perhaps. Um, Now, the video clips were quite interesting because they're the only two people, if you will, that are identified in this the first part of this dream is the martial arts master and this performer, presumably in this master's martial arts group, who whose leg got broken as a result of an accident. Now you have the master standing on doing handstands, in other words, kind of flipping things, as they say in, you know, hands down or heads up or whatever you want to call it, but or head over heels, but flipped. The master is basically in a reversed position, and this you have this other person who is presumably not a master but and a student who ends up getting hurt, and it makes me wonder if there's something about being injured, perhaps, whether currently or in the dreamer's past, that may be somehow reminiscent, or being brought up again in this dream. Now, there's something also about distance with this. The master is coming from out of town to where the dreamer lives, yet isn't aware. So there's a physical distance in the master traveling to this place, but there's also almost an emotional distance as well, in that there was no communication between the two parties to let the dreamer know that that the master would actually be in town. Now, I wonder if this, how, again, I reiterate the question, how does the dreamer feel about that? Would the dreamer have liked to have observed or participated in the event, or at least attended the event and watched the performance? What feelings are around that? As would he have been a spectator or a participant? And there's something about that as well. It's like being a spectator as opposed to being a participant. Now, on in the second part of the dream, there's these old, it's like soft porn movies or series that were called the Carry On series, and there was one that was called On the Buses, and the British people watching this will know what I'm talking about. But there, this notion of being going back and forth on buses, and there's something about this second part of the dream where there seems to be a aimless wandering of three people, which is the dreamer, his wife, and the martial arts master. Now, for whatever reason, they, after traveling back and forth for a period of time, whether it's short or long is unknown, they finally decide to split into basically two groups. The two men go off to work, and the dreamer's wife goes off shopping. Now, I just wonder where this workplace was that the dreamer was going to. Was he going to the same workplace as the martial arts master, or were they were going their separate ways once they started off to work? Is this, I wonder, for the dreamer, is there something about waking life that is like this, where either accompanying this master or not, or at least going part of the way with that master? Maybe they diverge and go their separate ways to separate workplaces. And so I just wonder the what the work entailed, what the final destination was with regard to work. Now, there seems to be a kind of almost a division of labor here, and a bit of stereotyping going on because the two men go off to work, but the wife goes off shopping. So I wonder if there's something about sexual stereotypes in terms of roles that people play, and as well, there's this um, underlying implication that the husband has to go to work so that the wife can go shopping. Again, a bit of a stereotypical point of view, shall we say? Now, the one of the things that note that came to me when I looked at this is that there was a connection, what the connections were between these two parts of the dream. First of all, there were twos that ran through this for some reason, pairs, except for in the second part where there were three people. But there were two. The master and the dreamer appeared in both parts of the dream, so that's two. Then you have two performers, the martial arts master and a student or another martial artist. Again, a pair, two. Then you have two destinations. You have the men going off to work in one destination, or maybe two destinations. But within that, there's also the men going in one direction and the wife of the dreamer going in another direction. So there is again twos. So twos within twos. And I just wonder if there's something about pairing or not being in a pair that, because even three, there's almost a three with with the dreamer and the two martial artists, the master and the other performer. So the twos and threes with thrown in for good measure seem to rule here, and I just wonder if there's something about relationships, particularly close relationships, that may be an issue here. Pairings, couples, uh, that may be something that in waking life that the dreamer may need to look at. So there you have it. You've got martial arts, you've got broken legs, and you've got work and shopping all bundled into one package. And if you'd like, if you have a dream that you can't make heads or tails of and would like some advice at how to break the dream down and look at it, get in contact with me. My contact details are below, and it's free, it's no obligation, and it may help you to make some important decisions. You never know. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Have a great evening and rest of the week, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.